Kanye West is no stranger to controversy, except this time, instead of blaming Jews for all of his problems, he's blaming his ex-wife for why he can't raise his own daughter. So what exactly did Kim Kardashian do? Well, she didn't want their daughter, Northwest, being featured in a song with an alleged sex trafficker. I think that guy's name is something like Sean Diddy Combs. Not sure if you heard of him, but apparently the guy throws really good parties.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party.
So let's talk a little bit about how all of this started. So when North was born, Kim trademarked her name, meaning she technically controls how it's used for business and branding purposes. This also means that if Kanye tries to monetize anything using North's name, image, or voice, he would need explicit consent from Kim as well, otherwise he could be facing a big shit show of a legal battle. But this is Kanye we're talking about. So you think something like parental consent is gonna get in the way of his artistic vision? He probably treats legal documents like I treat my alarm clock. You just hit snooze and then pretend like it doesn't exist. Now, just a few days ago, Kanye released a song that started all of this controversy. And I'll just let this clip explain it to you.
Kanye West drops a new song and it features his daughter Northwest and Sean Diddy Combs. The rapper shares to X, formerly Twitter, Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine, which he states is a song by Puff Daddy, Combs' son King, Kanye's daughter North, and new Yeezy artist Chicago Jasmine Williams.
Now, the fact that Kanye released a full song on Twitter is already a bit strange. Most artists use Twitter for teasers and then they post a full track on a streaming platform like Apple Music or Spotify. I wonder if this was Kanye's way of saying, I don't need the music industry, I am the music industry, so I can post a full track wherever the fuck I want, which would be a very Kanye thing to do. So the song opens with what seems to be a phone call between Kanye and Diddy, where Diddy is thanking Kanye for supporting him and taking care of his kids during his legal troubles. And Kanye responds by saying, absolutely, you know I love you so much, man.
That meant so much, you know what I'm saying, that you reached out to them and took the money away while I'm in there. And I appreciate you for it up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much, man. It's like you raised me.
I love how they're talking almost as though they're gonna start a podcast together. And I get that Kanye still wants to be kind of loyal to his friends that didn't do any wrong to him, but there's a difference between being loyal versus supporting a guy who's currently awaiting trial for sex trafficking charges. Like if one of my friends robbed and murdered somebody and I said, well guys, I know what he did was kind of bad, but he has a really good heart, okay? Trust me, you don't know him like I do. You would think I'm a fucking moron. So in Kanye's situation, maybe save the love confessions for somebody who isn't making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And now we get to the part that really kicked off all of this drama and the reason why everybody's talking about this right now. The verse that was sung by Kanye's daughter North. Because nothing says good parenting like involving your 11-year-old daughter with a guy who uses more baby oil in a week than most of us will ever use in our lifetime.
When you see me shining, then you see the light. Everything they wrote, it ain't even right. Okay, good night.
Now Kanye probably thought, well, this is just some cute father-daughter bonding over some music. But when Kim found out, she wasn't too happy about it. She sends cease and desist letters, basically saying to stop everything you're doing with the song and don't release it. And there was even an emergency meeting with a mediator and a judge to sort all of this out. But apparently, Kanye didn't show up to any of that, and he just released the song anyways. You ever have somebody ignore you so much that it just feels like you're talking to yourself? Yeah, that's Kanye with the cease and desist order. It's like he got a letter from the law saying, please stop, and he just looks at the note and goes, huh. Let me upload that song now. Now, if uploading the song wasn't bad enough, Kanye took it one step further and said, you know what? Why don't I put my entire family drama out there for the whole world to see? So he jumps on Twitter and makes this post, claiming he wasn't made aware of Kim Kardashian being the sole trademark owner for their daughter Northwest's name. He even included a screenshot of some legal document that confirms that Kim does indeed have full control over the trademark. And that's a big deal because that trademark, it dictates who gets to use and profit off of anything that's tied to North's name, which in this case was that exact verse in Kanye's song. So after Kanye uploaded the song and he kept getting bombarded with messages from Kim and her legal team, he's probably looking at his phone like, damn dude, she's still yapping about this? And then it finally dawned on him like, oh, wait, so laws actually do things? And this realization sent him straight into meltdown mode. And instead of handling it like a rational adult, he did what any other emotionally stable person would do and rage text Kim telling her how he's never gonna talk to her again and then post it online for the whole world to see. Because why suffer alone when you can make it a group activity? So the conversation starts with a screenshot of the legal document outlining the whole trademark issue, as well as Kanye telling Kim that he's never gonna talk to her again because she stabbed him in the back and trademarked their daughter's name without his consent. Kim responds with, "I asked you at that time if I can trademark her name. You said yes. When she's 18, it goes to her. So stop." So Kim is basically saying, Kanye, not only were you made aware of this, but you literally agreed to this. I already did the paperwork. I already locked it down. And now you want to cry about it? Then she says, I sent paperwork over so she wouldn't be in the Diddy song to protect her. One person has to trademark. Now, some people may look at this and say, well, what exactly is the big deal? It's not like North is endorsing Diddy, or that she's part of his crew, or that she's meeting up with him or doing anything like that. She's literally just in a song that he also happens to be in. So what's the harm in that? Now, the issue isn't really about whether she's endorsing him or directly associating with him. It's more about the broader implications of having a minor being associated with a guy who basically ran a pyramid scheme for sex and thought fear and intimidation were just love languages. Even just being associated with someone like Diddy can have huge consequences. Just take Jay-Z for example. He's been adamantly denying any allegations about him and Diddy sleeping with minors together, but that doesn't change the fact that simply being linked to this kind of mess is enough to make people look at you sideways and question your involvement in the whole situation. And now you've got North, an 11-year-old kid that barely has a grasp of what's fully going on, being pulled into that type of world. So just a connection to Diddy, even if it's not North's fault, can open her up to all sorts of negative attention down the line that she's never gonna understand at this age. And I think it's totally fair for Kim Kardashian to say, that's not what I want for my daughter. Now going back to the messages, Kim just doubles down and says, we agreed when they were born, I would get all of our kids' names and trademarks so no one else would take them. And then Kanye decides to go in a completely different direction and says, amend it or I'm going to war. And neither of us will recover from the public fallout. Remember how the main point was that Kanye's accusing Kim of doing some shady things like trademarking their kids' names without his knowledge? Yeah, so you would think after Kim says something like, you actually agreed to that Kanye would push back and say, what the fuck are you talking about? I never agreed to that. But instead, he goes straight to saying, yeah, well, even if I agreed, change it, or else things are gonna get really messy. Like, dude's not even making a case for himself anymore. He's just threatening to burn everything down. So after coming up with a genius solution with Kim over text messages, Kanye takes to Twitter to unleash his final boss level meltdown. He fires off a tweet ranting about how he doesn't just want to see his kids, he wants to raise them, but apparently the entire Kardashian empire, Hulu, Disney, and some shadowy bigger agenda are all conspiring to rob him of his parental rights and use his children as propaganda tools. So what began as a trademark issue over his daughter's name has now completely pivoted into a full-blown conspiracy as to how Disney and Hulu are against Kanye. Could you imagine getting kicked out of a casino for counting cards and then you're screaming at the security guard saying, these guys are part of a secret plot to stop me from winning? And now, in light of all of these events, it seems like Kim is seriously considering filing for full custody of the kids. And can you really blame her? It just sucks for the daughter because she's getting dragged into all this chaos and probably has no idea who to side with. So yeah, we'll just have to see how the rest of the situation plays out. And that's pretty much all I got for now. So take care, everyone.